Hello, everyone. Good morning. Man, this weekend I had my very first retreat. Well, it was my second retreat. I did one a few years ago with another person. And I'm telling you, like I did a live yesterday. I felt like my brain was still in retreat mode because it was just so amazing. And I titled this video, Expectation is Premeditated Resentment, because I had this experience in the process of doing the retreat. I had this expectation, this vision, this intention that there were going to be 30 women that were going to come to my retreat, and it was just going to be like this miraculous experience. And I created a vision of what it was going to look like in my head. And when I actually when the numbers were in, I had 13 women that committed to being part of this retreat. My first thought was, oh man, I kind of thought more people would be interested. Then my second thought, because this is where my brain always goes, it's exactly the way it's supposed to be. But I didn't always really get present to the power of the expectations. When we have this expectation of the way it should be, what we start doing is we start creating a story of what it looks like. We start planning the future in our brain, and we talk about visualization all the time and ask and it is given. But what is given is actually what we need, what we want, what we truly desire. See, because I started realizing that one of my intentions is I want women to intimately connect to themselves and others. And during this whole experience of the retreat, I realized, oh my gosh, could I imagine what it would be like if there was actually 30 women in this space? If there was 30 women here, it would have lost the intention. But sometimes it's not easy to see that until after the fact, until we start trusting that it is exactly the way that it is supposed to be. Now, I want you to kind of look at your life right now. Have you ever gone to a party and you were thinking, like, oh, they're going to have a big spread of food and everything's going to be like this and the decorations? And then you walk in and you're like, what the heck? Like it wasn't what you expected. And then all of a sudden, instead of being present to how it is and how it isn't, you're almost making something wrong. And then the energy around that is very like negative and disempowered. And instead of being present right here, right now, we start looking for all the things that are wrong. And then our experience of that is like not what it could be if we didn't have the expectation at all. So, my biggest golden nugget, the biggest thing that you can do is let go of expectation. No, really. And I always say, like, yes, set the intention, be intentional, but don't be attached. Don't be attached to the results. See, because the attachment to the results is actually the expectation that's premeditated resentment. Likely, most of the time, we're not always going to get the exact results that we plan in our head. And if we can be okay with this is perfect, then we can be in gratitude. We can be in appreciation. We can have faith and trust that this is exactly the way that it is supposed to be. So I wanted to use this experience that I had, and I'm going to share more about the retreat because it was very empowering for me to be part of something bigger than myself, to see people have profound breakthroughs by one little insight, to see women connecting with each other and collaborating and having this experience of I'm setting this intention. And then some people were like, oh my gosh, that intention is already fulfilled in the first half an hour. So being unattached to the results allows people the space to just be open to receiving whatever it is that we get to receive. So this way we practice being present. How many times are we not really present with what is so right now? We're always thinking about the past, or we're thinking too far into the future instead of trusting and believing that it is exactly the way that it's supposed to be. So when I heard this phrase that expectation is premeditated resentment, I'm like, that so makes sense. And you can think about this. I had Claire Morton on yesterday, who's a relationship expert and a self love expert. It's like, for those of you that are single out there, I have this expectation of what this person might be like because I've been talking to them online. And then they show up and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't the idea, the image I had in my head. Now, what happens is we go to like all the things that are wrong because they're not the same story that we created, the future we created for ourselves. Instead of just setting the expectation, I'm just going to go in with an open mind. Whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. And whatever experience I get to experience, I am the source of it. I sourced what I need right now for whatever reason. And that's another thing. You'll hear me say this all the time. How did I source this? It's not, when things go wrong or something and we say, how did I source this? How did I call it forward? Everything in life is a message for us. It's a lesson. It's a blessing. Even when we have those setbacks that feel really icky, it's like, okay, what do I get to take away from this experience? Who do I get to be in this experience? Yesterday, I was throwing a little bit of a temper tantrum with my coach. Yes, I have a coach too. Yes, I do. Because every level, we get to level up and we can't always see what's in the blind spot. So she gave me a homework assignment. And I was like, I can't do that. Look at my schedule. Like literally, I cannot do this. And then she was like, Tina, what did you come here for? To say that you can't, or to look for ways that you can? And I was like so pissed off. I was like, oh my gosh, no. I want to do things on my terms. And then I said, oh, how did I source this? Oh, I sourced this because I do like to do things on my terms, my timeline, time. And this is what she reminded me of. Our relationship with time is just intimacy. When we are too busy doing so many things for other people and we're like, I don't have time, that's an issue with intimacy. And when I heard this, I was just like, yes, I know. And I had to look at, okay, what part of my life am I avoiding intimacy? What part of my life am I stepping over things? And so I started really taking this on and saying, okay, how can I be creative? This is what so. I have an hour during this time and I get to complete whatever I need to complete. How can I do this? So I started looking for solutions. This is what so. This is what I know right now. All I need to do is look at right here, right now. And how do I take action to get it done? And what do I get to let go of? I get to let go of my temper tantrum. I get to let go of, I like to do things on my terms and don't interrupt my schedule. See, this is my little nerd coming out. If I have a plan, I like to stick to the plan. Don't interrupt the plan. But life is always interrupting our plan, isn't it? And we get to practice being when life is interrupting our plan. Letting go of the expectation. Here, this was my expectation. I am going to do all of this with freedom and ease. And one more thing, I'm like, I can't do it with freedom and ease now. No, I get to practice being. How did I source it? Because I get to practice being a leader. I get to practice being somebody who can have no agreement and create agreement and figure it out with freedom, ease, and joy. Okay, so let me know what you're hearing. I think I see some comments. Hey, Harish. Hey, yeah, so let me know what you're hearing in this. What are you taking away? What expectation do you have of yourself, of others, of your circumstances, that you can just let go of those expectations and just be in the here and now? Maybe it's something with your partner. You expect, I always use the garbage analogy. I expect him to take out the garbage every Tuesday. It's like, can you just let go of that expectation? And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And eventually the garbage is going to be taken out. You can think of so many things. My kids, it's like, I can go on and tell you so many stories. You know me, I love stories. And I just want you to really get that when we can let go of expectations, when we can just be with what is right here, right now, what's so, there is a freedom in our heart and our soul that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. And there is such a beauty and freedom in faith and knowing that it's exactly the way that it's supposed to be. I can't imagine a retreat with 30 women, but this experience was actually life changing for me as well. I got to see in the first 20 minutes, bigger isn't always better. I got to see that for myself. And what is really important to me, I got to see that for myself: connection, relationships, intimacy. And I got to see that I've been avoiding that in my life with my relationship with time. So lots of nuggets, lots of learning, lots of opportunities. And this is what life is about: discovering what you don't know that you don't know that's hiding behind your view. And when you start seeing this, you get to live with more freedom, more ease, and more joy. So I hope you got some value from this. Your homework this week, because last week it was like decluttering, just recognize your expectations and be willing to just touch them and let them go. Okay, thank you for being here. Hey, Vicki. Hey, Stephanie. And let me see here. Yeah, what do I get to keep and what do I get to let go of? And remember, expectation isn't the same as intention. Don't let go of your intentions. Okay, everyone, I will see you back next week. Have a blessed week. Keep being badass. Keep showing up for yourself and for others. It's the work that you're doing, and I don't want to say the work, it's so hard. The game you're playing is, how can I be the best version of myself? And if you're willing to play this game, everything around you is going to start shifting. I promise you that. Okay, I'm sending you love, light, laughter. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon. Bye.